My mama once said, if I knew I was going to live this long, I would have taken better care of myself. Today, in reflection, I would say, since we don't know how long we actually have, let's take good care anyway. I got to thinking about the statement about time and healing. I don't know if you all have heard the saying, or I've probably said it myself to some of you, or I know it was said to me, and this is what I sort of grew up with, is this idea that time heals all wounds, and we are under the impression, a lot of us, that healing takes time, and it does take time. Healing requires more than time, though. Not only time, because you can spend a lot of time and you're going through this journey of your own, you're thinking, I'm doing all the things, I'm, going to yoga, I'm doing, I'm eating all the protein, I'm, walking, I'm going to do my self-care, and I have a wellness routine, a day routine, a night routine, an evening routine, a, mid-afternoon routine. And yet I'm still in the same place with my pain. And so I would today recognize that healing doesn't only require time and a whole lot of other things, but it also requires honesty. And I'm reminded of, I don't know if you remember me saying in the first video that, or one of the first videos, that I had sneezed and I ended up in the hospital, and I had to go through this journey of physical therapy and trying to get back to a place where I didn't need, or to a place, not even back to a place, get to a place where I didn't require surgery on my back. And so I went the holistic route, and I went to an acupuncturist, and I started going to chiropractors and things like that, different things. I went on a journey of that. And I started to go to this really amazing chiropractor. And she was just very honest with me. She was very gentle. And one day I went, and I was on the bed, needles in my back, all over my body, and she left me in the room. And I remember being on my stomach. She left me on my stomach. Being on my stomach with needles all in my back. And I was just on the table. I didn't know what time she was going to get back. I didn't know how long I was supposed to be there. I didn't know what that was about, but she left me there in the room, and I just started to think, like, where is this pain coming from? What is this about? And I got to thinking about how this pain that I have stored up in my body, had served me over the years. And I got to thinking about the years and years that I had been, dealing with it and actively in trauma, experiencing abuse, then coming out of it in some ways, and going to school, having children, and everything, life things happens, and we go through it, and the pain is not necessarily dealt with. So though time passed, you're not dealing with the pain, and you're not really addressing your health and wellness, and where is the healing happening? You're thinking it is, at least I am, or I was. So I'm on my stomach, needles all in my back, laying there on the table, and I started to just talk with myself about, like, where is this pain? And I started to thank it out of nowhere, like, thank you for serving me all these years, thanking the pain for keeping me safe in some ways, thanking the pain for giving me a platform to talk about trauma and abuse and things like that. And just as I thought about over the years how I had been presenting and teaching and talking about pain and abuse and trauma, and reiterating this in my body and re-emphasizing it in some ways, I held on to that pain because for those reasons, it served purposes. It served a purpose for me to talk about it and to educate folks about it and to educate folks about how you move through it. And so I was holding it for reasons. Something came up on my phone. And so I just started thanking the pain. Thank you for this. Thank you for allowing me to have conversations. Thank you for allowing me to. And at the end of that, I just started bawling and crying, and I just wanted to release it. I said, "You no longer serve me. I don't. You've done your job." And I started to release it. And so Dot came in the room, and she was like, "What's going on? Why are you crying?" And I was telling her what was happening. I was like, I was just speaking to my pain. I could just cry just thinking about it now. I was just speaking to my pain and talking to it and really being honest with it. And, I'm ready to just release it. And she said, Charmaine, this is where wellness starts. When you start to be honest with yourself, that's when you'll start to heal. So I'm glad that you're starting to be honest with yourself, because now the healing can begin. It took me out, really validated where I was in the moment, and reaffirmed that I was sort of on this track of healing that I had never really thought of. And that was transforming me in a way that I had never experienced before. So anyway, before I start bawling here, I don't want to do that right now. Sure, there's going to be other opportunities that will come up and other conversations that will come up, but I just wanted to remind you all that healing doesn't only take time, it requires honesty. All right, let's begin our meditation. Our meditation today is about honesty and thinking what has served us and no longer serves us. So take some time to really check in with your body, scan your entire being from top to bottom and within. Really get to that granular place where you can really connect with the most authentic, raw part of you, that honest place. Allow yourself to go there and tap in. It's just us. It's us. Challenge yourself to be honest about your own healing, about your pain. Challenge yourself with each inhale and exhale to go deeper, to find that granular place, that peace, that spot, that point. It's just been covered or protected for so long. Speak to it. Practice looking at it, scanning it, observing it. When any moment that you decide you can be honest, challenge yourself to do them. Allow yourself to go deeper. That scan, when you scan your body, if you notice any points of tension and just discomfort, interface with it. Allow it to download information for you as to what it could be. Get curious. Breathe through it. Allow yourself to not judge it. Just be aware. Ah, that's where you are. Ah, you look familiar. You feel familiar. And for now, just observe. Notice your shoulders lowering. Notice your toes. Notice your ears, your jaw. Remember this feeling of floating and relaxation. Tension is just a little less. And if you find that connecting with your pain in a more honest way is useful for you, let's revisit it again next time. Thank you.